Hey guys, Todd Hagopian, 4 a.m. on the dot this week, going live for week 4 of the launch circle, the inside circle, going into what it takes to launch a book. So, if you have ever wanted to launch a book, and you've heard somebody say that writing the book is the easy part, we're going to talk about why that is today. And I'm not entirely sure that I agree with that. I think writing the book is still the hard part. I think knowing what to do once you've written the book is much harder, but we're trying to solve that for you here. Go through what you need to know in order to launch a book after you've written it and whatnot. And I think that what I'm trying to do is save you guys the 1 year worth of research, that I've had to put in to really get this thing to where I think I'm closer to right than wrong, because there's about 1,000 different ways to launch your book, and I've spent a lot of time and money trying to figure out which ones of those ways work and what's worth it and what's not. And that's what we're going to talk through today. So, first things first, I am building my book launch team, and that's an important part of launching your book. Once you have written the book, gotten your published date, getting it set up, you have to have a launch team. This team can be small or big, but basically these are folks who are going to help you get the word out about your book, whether it's retweeting or reposting or or just telling people about the book, helping you find bulk buys, that kind of thing. And just getting your name out there if you're doing a bunch of podcasts or if you're getting published in articles and whatnot. These folks are the ones that you would ask to put it out there. And I apologize if you hear all the dogs snoring. They are not used to these 4 a.m. podcasts. Neither am I, to be honest with you. But you might hear some of that in the background. And so I've got 10 people on the launch team. The first 10 people have signed up. I really, really appreciate you guys. But let's talk about how to build a launch team. Okay, most authors will send out 200 emails and beg people to buy the book. And then after that, they'll beg you to write a review, and that's essentially what a launch team looks like for most authors. And actually, that's what publishers will tell you to do. But what we're doing is something differently. I hired NG Enterprises, and they're a professional book launcher, and I'm learning a lot from them. But one of the things that they bring to the table are personalized videos. And so a few of you have gotten these from me, only a few because they take a long time to do. So it's actually something that, somebody asked me, is this AI? No, unfortunately it's not. Takes a long time. So at best, you can knock out about 10 of these an hour. I came up with a list of 3,000 people that I wanted to send videos to. And so the very first thing you do is take a look at your entire network and figure out how many people you have that you would like to send a video to. They actually recommend under 100, because of how long it takes. And so, of course, I did 3,000 because that's what I do. And I also have 3 books coming over the next 13 months. So I knew that it didn't have to happen, in the next month or two. Um, so that's the first thing, is you probably want to start this activity, 4 to 6 months before the launch. Most people don't. Most people do what I did and get right up to the end, and they're like, oh crap, I spent, you know, a year getting everything ready except zero time on launching the book and making sure that people actually buy it. And that's one of the reasons that the average business book only sells 250 copies over the lifetime of the book, and that very few people ever hit 1,000 copies. It's because they don't put enough time into this portion. So this is what we're going to talk about today, so that if you do decide to write a book, you're as successful as possible. So I took these 3,000 names, which took a long time to gather, right? And I categorized them all into how I knew them, what they do, what angle I wanted to come at it with, whether it's just a pure friendship angle or whether they're an executive and I have something specifically that I can offer executives, or a fellow author and something specifically I might be able to offer fellow authors. So I segmented that. And then it takes, 5 minutes or so to do a video and edit it and send it out. Probably actually a little more than that. So you can do almost 10 an hour. And so if you do the math, that's about probably a whole year's worth of videos that I have planned, if I can even get them all done, which I'm trying to commit to here. But the cool thing about these videos is it's not just asking people for help; it's about showing gratitude, which is the other reason you don't want to send 3,000 at once, because what you're going to do is try to create some win-wins where you're offering them something in return for helping you, whether that is putting together, an article for them, sending them over a video, talking to their team, introducing them to somebody, doing a co-live stream. There's all different kinds of things that you can do depending on the person you're talking to, and you actually have to think about the person you're talking to to come up with those things. So it's kind of a fun thing to sit there for a minute, try and remember how you know that person, and think about what you might be able to offer them that's valuable, and it makes you feel good, which I guess I didn't expect. So it's been a nice little thing. It does take some time, but people react, and it makes you feel good. But you also don't want to send 1,000 at once and get 1,000 things back where you've promised them something and then you need to deliver on 1,000 things at once while you're trying to launch a book. So I'm trying to make it clear, like, I'll be delivering on these things throughout the next year. We're going to talk a little bit about that today and how I'm going to do that. Um, but really, it's important. Not very many people get real outreach, right? We all get marketing emails. We all get asked to do things. We all get asked to help people. Not many people get actual outreach where you get a heartfelt message. There's something proposed that's a win-win. And then they're asking you to help them on a journey, not just buy my book, on launch day and give me a review as soon as you can, that kind of thing. Those all help. All authors do it, but it's better if you can put it together a different way. So we're going to talk through some of the things we're going to do differently here. So I will put the launch team form in the notes, by the way. I would love for you to join. I promise you'll still get a video. You'll probably get a video faster because you'll be on the list right then. But if you want to fast track your access to this launch team, I really appreciate those who do. We're already up to 10 people. We're trying to get to about 100 on this first launch and over 1,000 on the second launch. And again, if I hadn't said it before, this first launch is kind of a trial launch. We're not going for bestseller. We're just learning things, getting the team in place. The second launch, we probably are going to do a big bestseller push and really try and hit some of those metrics. But for the first launch, we're just trying to learn as much as we can so I can teach you guys. I can teach myself for the future launches, and we can really get that set up. So my New Year's resolution is actually to spend as much time as possible doing the things that only I can do. And that is something you're going to hear me pound for the next year, is if you could have your whole team doing just the things that only they can do, think about how much more productive you guys would be if they can outsource or systematize or eliminate all the tasks that are generic, that don't take any special skills from them, or that can just be done by somebody who's cheaper, frankly, than them. Think about how much more you can get done throughout the year. And so one of the things I'm doing in this book launch, because I do have limited time, I'm a professional. I have a more than a full-time job and 4 kids and 4 dogs and 4 cats and all that jazz, is trying to make sure that I spend my time doing the things that only I can do during this launch. And so part of that is going to be focusing on delivering content, focusing on delivering value back to my readers, doing video, doing writing, getting the launch team ready, and that kind of thing. So that's what I'm going to be spending my time on. So I did hire some people to help me. So you may hear from my book launch manager. Just know that if you do, I'm going to be copied on everything. It's part of the plan. And the reason that you're hearing from her is so that I can be more productive for all of you and deliver more value over this period of time, so that I'm not trying to remember what email I need to respond to and this and that. So don't feel like it is me outsourcing stuff so I don't have to talk to you. It's actually me so I can talk to you more and deliver more value over this time period. So she is going to be great, Alexis, and you'll hear from her over this next 13 months. So, but I've grounded the whole team in this vision that we are supposed to design everything to drive the most value as possible, and that's really important to me throughout this thing. So what we are announcing is we are going to have a Circle community, and I think this is really cool for people who haven't done this. Circle typically is for kind of master classes and things like that, where you sell a $5,000 course and then you get in and you do all the master class, and then maybe you have access to a community inside that circle. What we decided is it was going to be a great way to deliver the value to to folks in a couple of different ways. So first of all, the launch team gets a bunch of free stuff. Okay, so normally you would have to make a web page, put all that free stuff on it, and make it real nice and pretty, right? Then on top of that, you put free stuff in the book that people get access to, right? So then you have to make another web page, put all that stuff in there, and make that pretty. And then if you want a community, you got to make another web page, and you got to email gate all this stuff. And so it ends up costing quite a bit of money just to deliver free tools to people who want to help, or free tools to people who bought the book. So what we decided to do is, instead of paying all that money for the web pages, we're going to drive that money into a Circle community. And so what you'll get access to, essentially, I've taken enough of these now that I know how to build enough value, but these things typically will cost about $5,000 to get a full masterclass in the community. You'll get all that for free. So the folks who are on my launch team will get it for free. The folks who buy the book will get it for free. Those are basically the 2 tickets in to the Circle community, and you're going to get a $5,000 masterclass for free. You're going to get the community for free. You're going to get all the free tools that you would either get if you were on the launch team or if you bought the book. All of those will be housed in Circle. And then on top of that, the really cool thing is, as you guys do come back and say, hey, Todd, I'd really like a webinar on the Karellen method for extreme productivity. I'd like to dive deeper into that topic that I read in your book, or that I saw an article on. Instead of me just writing something or sending you a video, what I can do is actually put a webinar into Circle, send you a link, and say, hey, did the webinar you asked for. But not only that, but now 100 other people get access to that webinar. So the cool thing about the Circle community is, the more thing you guys ask for from me, the more value everybody's going to get, because you're all going to get the new content that I put together. And it may end up on YouTube or my website, but it'll go to Circle first, and you guys will have first access to everything. So I think that's going to be a really cool thing for all of you, because the idea will be is that the content will keep growing. Right off the bat, it's supposed to, if we get it all done, have the masterclass, free mini books. I got 3 free mini books that are really cool, kind of quote unquote lead magnets, nice little 30 to 50 page guides on certain specific things that you can put in place right away. There'll be a corporate implementation guide, and then I'm going to have anywhere between 50 to 100 framework summaries that are found in the books. So you'll see summaries that aren't even in the first book that are coming out in the second book, of frameworks and how to use them. So all that stuff should be on Circle in the first month. You guys will see that right before launch. So it'll be around January 20th that will go live. So we will be in touch on that. But I think it is a really cool way to drive a ton of value. So think about it. You could have a $5,000 value for helping out with the launch team, or even just for buying the book. You get $5,000 of value. If you're a bulk buyer, you end up getting Circle access for your whole team. So if you buy 20 books, you essentially get $100,000 worth of value for your team. It's the same as buying a masterclass for your team. You just don't have to pay for it. You can give them the book, and then they all get access to Circle. So I think that's going to be the way we do that. I'm really excited. But that is one way to build a book launch team. So the idea here is how do you build the book launch team? Personalized outreach is better than the mass email. I've done both, by the way. I can tell you already that the personalized videos return 10x on the outreach email. And you can use it to drive any number of things. So on that form, you'll see that you could buy the book. You could leave a review. You could just, post on LinkedIn on launch day is huge. You could ask me to come in and talk to your team. So there's all different ways that you allow people to help you. And then you put in multiple sections where they can think of ways that you can help them. And the way I'm going to attack most of that is try to look for trends and what people are asking, and then develop content that you all can have, because I think that's important. You helping everybody else in the community and me helping you all at the same time. So obviously there will be one-off favors and things like that, but when possible, I'm going to look for these broad categories and try to attack things in group setting, because I think that's going to be the best use of my time, best use of your time. You're going to get the most out of it if I can keep driving new content into the Circle community. So really, really excited. If you have any questions on building the launch team or how to deliver on your promises to both the launch team and to your readers, because way too often we put 100 things in the book that we want to deliver, and then the book launches and none of them are built. So we're trying to fix that and use the Circle community as a way that you're going to get all the stuff from all 3 books inside this community, probably before the books even launch, because it'll be easier for us to put it in and build it now. So that's the plan. Hope you guys learned a lot today. Feel free to comment, ask me questions, send me messages, but we are getting into the thick of things here about 7 weeks before launch. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you very much.